sitting in my car on my street parking here in University Park in LA, in front of my apartment. I am going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. I had to call 12 different... It's really cool because it's LA, so there are this many game stores. I had to call 12 different video game stores in order to get a hold of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time. Sorry I have a little bit of a lisp right now. I have teeth whitener on. Got them Crest White strips going. But yeah, 12 different video game places. And I kind of got a feel for each one every time I called. Sometimes like they were really friendly and really frank and easy to talk to, and then and quick. And then sometimes things took a little while, and you know, it was communication was a little difficult, and they had to be like, hold on, let me type in the games. So yeah, that was fun to to kind of play around with, see the landscape of video game stores in Los Angeles. The first store I called was World 8, which I misspelled on my paper in front of me, called Word 8. So that's nice. And I go, hey, I'm looking for 2 games, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. They're both for the Wii. Echoes of Time or Crystal Bearers. And he goes, oh, we have Crystal Bearers. We don't have Echoes of Time. Do you want me to put it on hold for you? And I said, yeah, maybe. I'm going to check around. And so World 8 was great. And then 11 stores later, I finally got another store that would do that. Including one store where the guy was like, habla español? And I had to go, no habla español. And then we hung up on each other. Because we just didn't have an option there. So that was interesting. I've never called a Spanish video game store before. Or a Spanish language video game store before. Anyway, I'm going to drive to World 8. My Google Maps is going to tell me where to go. And I'm going to go pick up Crystal Bears first. Because my video games, although I brought my Wii with me, I thought the order of the games was going to be My Life as a King, then My Life as a Dark Lord. But apparently Echoes of Time came out before My Life as a Dark Lord.
3rd Street towards South Union Avenue.
Okay.
In 600 feet, turn right onto South Hoover Street.
South Hoover Street. And so I was like on the phone with my parents. I was like, come on, is there any way you guys could take a trip to St. George? It's a southern town in Utah. It's only like 5 hours away from here. And it's 5 hours away from there as well, or from where they're coming from. So it'd be like a good place to meet in the middle and get some more of my stuff. And my mom was like, no, it's impossible right now. We gotta take the truck because the car is leaking gas. And, you know, every time we take the truck that far, it's going to cost us like $300 for the whole trip, and it's just not worth doing. You know, it's better to ship it. But I'm all stressed out because I want to get this game done because I have time right now because I'm unemployed.
A quarter mile, turn left onto West Washington Boulevard.
Shit. Turn left onto West Washington Boulevard. Okay. And so... yeah, just going back and forth on whether or not they should mail me these games, and I just decided, screw it, I'm not going to mail it, and next time I see them, I'm going to try to get up there around Thanksgiving time, that's when I'll go and pick up my stuff. I'm also missing my guitar, like, really bad. I know no one gives a shit, but I do. When you play guitar for so long, it starts becoming like a comfort instrument. You kind of need it there. It's just like something for your hands to mess with when you're stressed out or something like that, as opposed to like messing with your dick. And so, you know, it's kind of healthier and creative.
West Washington Boulevard.
Ew, taking a left on Western Washington. And so, yeah, I miss my guitar. And I need other consoles for the future Final Fantasy games, but I probably won't get them till Thanksgiving. Anyway, so yeah, I'm calling all these places. None of them have anything until I call the last place. And he's like, what ones do you want? This is from Game Dude in North Hollywood. So it's going to be kind of a drive. He goes, which ones do you want? I'm like, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Crystal Bears. Do you have either of them? And he goes, no, hold on. And he types away. I was, yeah, we have 7 of those. And he only heard me say Echoes of Time. I was like, Echoes of Time? He's like, yeah. I don't think we have the other ones. I'm like, you have 7 copies of Echoes of Time? Yeah. And I go, we? And he's like, yeah. So I was like, okay. And he's like, oh, well.
South Vermont Avenue.
Let me check the other one, actually. Did it just say turn south? I'm turning right. I can't do south, east, northwest here. And so, like, after calling all these places that didn't have any copies of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time, one place that had the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Crystal Bears, this guy goes, yeah, I have 7 Echoes of Time, and then after you checked it, it's like, I have 2 of the other one. I'm like, what? Because it's like this game store has been hoarding all the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicle games away from the other game stores.
South Vermont Avenue.
It's insane to me. But because I called the other one earlier and it's a local store, I kind of want to check out World 8. So I'm going to get Crystal Bears at World 8 here just south of downtown. And then hopefully parking's okay. And then I'm going to get Echoes of Time from the place that apparently has 3 effing copies of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Or 7 effing copies of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time. That's insane to me. It's a shitload of copies of Echoes of Time. Anyway. Yep, going to World 8 next. I gotta drive through sketchy Koreatown to get there, but yeah, should be fun. I'll tell you what I think. Okay, so I went into World 8. I was like, hey, you called about the Crystal Chronicles thing earlier. And I go, okay. So they go and grab the game for me, and they got it out for me, and I paid with card, and it was.
In 400 feet, turn right onto West Olympic Boulevard.
It was a good transaction.
Right onto West Olympic Boulevard, then turn left onto South Vermont Avenue.
In case anybody is wondering how to get to Game Dude next.
Turn left onto South Vermont Avenue.
So, what I like about that store, I like their vibe. They got a lot of really good. Like, the outside of the building is kind of reminiscent of some, like, old Mario game stuff. Their logo, of course, World 8 is a really good reference to use as their store. And then the inside of the store, for Koreatown being a piece of shit, not the part that they're in. For this area... kind of being a little run down. Their store is like really nice, and they were really professional, and everything was really neat and organized. It doesn't have a kind of like hang out here, talk about games with your buddies kind of thing. It's like way too professional for that. But I appreciated how kind of clean and clear and under control that it was. But yeah, so I got Crystal Bears. It is in front of me. My second copy of this freaking game. Notice I've been swearing a lot less recently. I wonder what's up with that. I came to LA and I'm swearing less.
Continue on South Vermont Avenue for 2 miles.
But yeah, good experience. Their little bag that they gave me a paper bag. It has their logo stamped on it. Looks like someone literally took a stamp to it. I wonder if they actually did. But yeah, kind of, I like that place. I think next time I have to go get a game, I'll probably go there. The street parking is kind of terrible. I had to go park around the corner. But otherwise, good experience. I'll tell you about Game Dude when I get there. It looks like it'll be about 25 minutes for a 10-mile drive. I'm getting used to this LA time thing. You look on Google Maps like, oh, it's only 8 miles away. And it's like, oh no, 8 miles is an hour. Sometimes, depending on the time of day. This is only 10 miles and only 20-something minutes, but it is 1:40 in the afternoon, so it's not really heavy traffic time yet. So I got to make sure to get in and out before rush hour hits at like 3:34. So, yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so I just got Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time Wii version. I have the DS version at home. I don't have the DS with me, so I had to get the Wii version. And I got it from Game Dude in North Hollywood. So here's the thing with Game Dude. Its selection is insane. There are so many games in there. And there are like 8 people working in there. And there are these big long aisles. There's the glass cases that have like the handheld games and stuff. And then with those...
When I was 18 months old, I used to go out in the street.
Got some podcast going. With those glass cases, there's also behind them, there's like an aisle that you can't walk in, but all the employees are walking in like some like gigantic like big loop around the store. And then behind that are the games for the consoles that are all stacked up along the wall. And there were 7 copies of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time, which was just crazy. Just crazy amount of copies of this game, considering none of the other game stores had any. And I had to go up to one of the guys who was working there. I'm like, hey, how does this work? And he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, this is unusual for me, for a game store, like how the aisles and everything. And he goes, you tell me what games you want, and then I'll tell the cashier, and then they'll ask who's buying, Echoes of Time, and then you go up to the cashier and you pay for the game. It's this crazy system. And then I saw on the wall that there are like these booklets that have just the list of games available. And I think you're supposed to like pick those up and then go around. Guy asked me if I wanted to browse around, and I had to admit that I shouldn't be spending money right now, so I could only buy the one game. But yeah, what a crazy... it's not crazy. It's actually very well run, but what an interesting store. Certainly, I wish that there was more of a hangout atmosphere to it. There definitely wasn't. It felt like some sort of a factory. And because it felt like kind of a factory, in that way, I'm kind of disappointed. I wish that... I've only been to, obviously, 2 game stores here. And I saw one in the mall that looked like really busy. So I wasn't interested in that. The Burbank Mall, I think. And so I just kind of like, I wish that there was a game store nearby that was like the hangout game store. Like in Utah, it'd be a game store, and usually there'd be some place, like it just had more of a hangouty vibe. And this one didn't. One of my favorite things about Gamer Asylum in Ogden, Utah, is that it was both a video game store and a board game store. So because it was a board game store, it had all these tables and people were playing D&D and shit. And it just really had a good hangout vibe, which I'm not getting here. It could just be that LA, or the parts of LA that I'm at, super busy, and so they're getting a ton of business, and it can't really be a hangout place. But yeah, if anybody knows of any hangout-ish board game or video game stores, just let me know. I'm looking for one. I gotta find like a D&D group or something. I gotta start socializing out here. But anyway, yeah, very cool stores, both of them. World 8 is a very, very neat, well-run place. Very well decorated. Game Dude is more shabby, but more like almost like a warehouse type feel. It's almost like a pick-apart auto place for video games and movies and such. So, just a very, very interesting experience. Very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to drive home now, and I think I will pop in Echoes of Time. Might as well get started. Shit. I don't know when I'm going to post this in the episodes, but anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed coming along on my journey. And for anybody in LA, I know we got a lot of California listeners, so I'm assuming we have a few in LA. I recommend Game Dude. Of course, you probably already know about it, but Game Dude, if you're really looking for a game, it's probably going to be at Game Dude. They also had copies of Destiny 2 for like $9. I really should have just grabbed one, but I didn't. Shit. Okay, anyway. Alright. Talk to y'all later.